lot, so I thought I would come on and make this video, not really to discourage anyone from coming to Tulum, but these are just some things that I feel like I haven't seen anybody talk about. Take all the pictures by all the palm trees you want, but give us the information we need. Hey guys, okay, so we are in Tulum. It's our first night here. We made it, and it has been a very interesting experience, to say the least. Obviously, we're a little tired. We got in, dealt with the fiasco of renting a car here in Mexico, and then took the 2-hour drive down here to Tulum. Yes, it's about 2 hours from the airport because you fly into Cancun, so just know that. And then just, I don't know, just kind of a lot. So I thought I would come on and make this video, not really to discourage anyone from coming to Tulum because we have high hopes for the trip. Yeah. But these are just some things that I feel like I haven't seen anybody talk about, and truth be told, they're a bit irritating so far. Like these little things have been the most annoying things that we've dealt with for the trip, and I feel like people should know just so that you're prepared to deal with it on your end. First of all, we fly in and we arranged to rent a car, and we did that through Thrifty, which is owned by Hertz. One of the reasons why is because I have a bunch of vouchers to use for Thrifty, so I thought it would be okay to use at the Thrifty here. I was mistaken because evidently the Thrifties here and Hertz's here are not really connected to the ones in the US or Canada. So that was one kind of hiccup. It was fine because honestly, I was prepared to pay for the rental car anyway because I wasn't sure if I would be able to use my Thrifty vouchers for any location other than the one that issued them to me. So that was fine. However, so basically you go online and you book the car for X amount of time that you're going to be in town, and it gives you a quote. It tells you how much the car is supposed to be per day. So on the website for the Cancun airport location, you go on and I make the reservation and it says $38 and maybe 60 cents a day to rent the car. So we're here for what, 4 or 5 days? So
5 days, yep.
5 days, that's the length of the rental. So the quote that the website is giving me is $224 and change for those 4 or 5 days that we have the car. Cool. Get to the airport and go to pick up the car, and it's already kind of weird because you have to walk through all this stuff to go sort of off terminal to get to the office. Then you get there and they're like, sorry, only one person can go in at a time. So of course I'm the one who made the reservation. I had to go in. They check me in, pull up my reservation, checking me in, taking my ID, my passport, getting all my info, and then it comes time to confirm all the details of the reservation, and she goes, okay, and now we need to just confirm which protection plan you would like for the car. And I'm like, protection plan? She's like, yeah, you have to get insurance for the car. And I'm like thinking, all right, every time I rent a car, I use a certain credit card so that I'll be covered in that way, but also my car insurance covers that. So like, that's not really something I have to worry about. Oh, I have insurance. I don't think I really need that. Well, no, you have to have a separate insurance here in Mexico because the ones there won't cover. Now, I'm pretty sure mine will, even if it doesn't. All right, whatever. I remember specifically not checking the option to get the protection on the website because it was like $13 or $14 a day. I never get it because my insurance covers it. At the airport in Cancun, at this Thrifty location, and it's Thrifty, Hertz, and I think two other ones that are part of it. They all belong to the same company, like they're owned by the same person. So you check in and they're like, yeah, you actually have to get one of these coverages. It's mandatory for you to rent the car. Okay, great. Okay, so she's going over the coverages with me, and all I see is like green check boxes, like circles with green check marks through it. And I'm like, okay, I see 4 green check marks, that's fine. I see a 55 at the bottom. She goes, okay, yeah, and it's gonna be 55 per day. Wait, I'm sorry, $55 per day for this insurance that I don't really need, that you're requiring me to get? First of all, this is more money for insurance than I pay on my own personal car for the month, let alone to pay for 4 days insuring your rental car that was only supposed to cost me $38 and change a day. So already I'm annoyed. She can sense my frustration and my annoyance because she already let me know that the thrifty vouchers wouldn't work, and I was like, all right, that's fine. At no point until you get to the airport and you go to get the car do you see anything about this insurance that you have to get that's an extra $55 a day. If I had known that, honestly, so many people were saying, hey, you know, in Tulum everything's so close, you can rent a scooter or a bike or whatever and just take a shuttle there to and from the airport and you'll be good. Decided to rent a car because I'm like, you know what, I would like the freedom of having a car. Also, it's not going to cost me much more than getting a shuttle, so why not? Why doesn't anybody tell you about this $55 insurance that is added? It's anywhere from $55 to $65 per day. So the rental that was supposed to cost me $224 ended up, long story short, costing, I want to say $580 in total with all the fees. Here's the funny thing about it is it was $38.60 a day to rent the car. The insurance on the car was $55 a day. The insurance for the car per day was more money than it was to rent the car.
Sounds like a scam.
Like, how does that even make any sense?
Yeah.
After kind of going back and forth and trying to understand the rationale behind it, I finally just gave in because at that point I'd been there an hour. Ben was waiting outside for me and I was like, it's not even worth it to try and hop to a different rental car place to see. And then I look at the rental car reviews for this like airport locations here and they all talk about this hidden insurance fee that they were blindsided with, and I'm like, how come this is not in any reviews? I understand maybe people just aren't renting cars like that when they come here, and that's okay, I get it. However, this is something like, I feel like when you plan a trip like this, especially internationally, renting a car is not just like a simple decision you make. You do research. Planning the trip is not just like a fly-by-night decision. Unless you got it like that, good for you, cool. Otherwise, you're budgeting and you're planning. Nowhere in my plans was there more of a cost for insurance than the actual cost of the rental. So that was really annoying and stupid. That was just like the first really super annoying thing that's like, it just kind of blindsides you. And it's not even necessarily about the money. It's more so the fact that it's kind of hidden from you until the moment that you're there to pick up your car. And it's like all your plans are set at that point. So for me, I had to make the decision to spend more time doing research, finding a shuttle or finding another car or just paying the money. And so I did, because it's kind of like your back is up against the wall at that point. So it's more of an annoyance than anything, because had I been given that information prior, my trip plans may have been a little bit different, because that's an extra $250 that I did not plan on spending for a rental car that could have gone to something else super fun in Tulum. Second thing that's super annoying is the exchange rates here. So you can use US dollars and pesos here because a lot of the places they use cash. They prefer cash, they only use cash. You can use card in some places, but most places use cash. Every place that we've gone and spent money here so far, the exchange rate has been different. When I was at the rental car place checking in and she gave me the total of everything, oh, don't be scared, it says it's 17,000, but it's USD, but the exchange rate is 22.96. The restaurant we went to today, and mind you, we're pulling up our phones thinking we're doing the right thing and like finding a calculator to make sure that we're paying the right amount and tipping accordingly to make sure that everything is fair, and that's different too. I don't know what the percentage was, but it was off. And we were super confused, and we almost kind of felt like the guy was cheating us, but we were just, honestly, we were just genuinely confused because we thought we were over tipping.
Yeah, we did the math, and it was, the bill came to $60 US dollars. So I tip, I leave over 20%, and then he comes over, he takes it, he's like, oh yeah, so it's $71. And we're like, wait, isn't it 60? He's like, no,
we're
it's 70.
Just like so confused.
We pull out our phone. I'm like, wait, this is the conversion right here. We show him. I'm like, pesos to dollars on Google. And he's like, oh yeah, that's for banks, not restaurants.
And we're just like, banks, not restaurants. And honestly, this is not coming from a place of frugality at all. I mean, it also should be, because you should be protecting your coins no matter what, but it's more from a place of confusion. So when that confusion sets in, it's just kind of like, all right, I'm not sure if what you're telling me is correct, because I'm looking at something that I think is a reputable source and it's telling me one thing and you're telling me something else, and I don't really know you. I'm supposed to just take your word for it. So it's just confusing, and then we also feel bad because it's kind of like embarrassing too, not knowing, but I'm glad we stayed and waited to like double check.
The thing was, then he like went off to the side, and his like other coworker comes up to him and starts like whispering to him, and he's whispering back, and it seemed like he knew that he was trying to, trying to get him.
It seemed like it was a bit like, with that instance, it did seem like it was a bit inflated. Yeah. And I get it. We're in Tulum, and where we are, it's kind of like this touristy area that, there's clearly a lot of people who are not natives, who have maybe moved here, who are on extended stays or vacations. And so you get a whole bunch of vibes that are not local here as well. So I'm sure there's a ton of people that don't even bother to check, and they're just like, yeah, how much is it? And they pay it, and that's that. But like with this guy, we were just like asking him, we're like, okay, well, can you just explain it to us? Because like we're seeing this. And he was just like off whispering to the side with his friend, and then
he also didn't speak the best English, so I don't know if he could really explain to us like the way he wanted to, but he was just like, oh, that's banks. He's like, this is restaurants, and we're like, what? And then he kind of like went off.
And it didn't make sense at that time until after we went to the grocery store just now. So we went to the grocery store to pick up a few things, and we're like, okay, bring cash with us, because obviously most places like cash is supposed to be better. We go to pay, and she's kind of like, we're just like confirming with her that everything's okay, because like we're paying, and then and here's another thing, is that we're paying and we're like, is this okay? It's like, as sure as we are based on what we're seeing on like the information from Google, from the unit converters and stuff, we're just like, is this okay? And then they're like, oh no. And she tells us that it's $18 or 18 pesos per dollar. Yeah. Which is a whole nother rate.
And our Google is showing us 20, so we're just like,
okay, we don't know what's going on. We end up paying for that too, but I'm like, how is it different every single place that we've gone?
Yeah, like, she said it's 18, the airport said 20, like.
The airport was $22.96. It was whatever it was at the restaurant. At the grocery store, it's 18. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. So then we're like, well, maybe the waiter wasn't lying to us. Yeah. Like, and then we started to really feel bad. Like, okay, so like he was being honest. I guess that's kind of on us, at this point. And I'm like, all right, well, we're probably going to go back. If we go back, we'll just give him extra or whatever.
We're just using what the Google, exchange rate tells us. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think that should be wrong. That's why it doesn't really make sense. We're going to get the Bible tomorrow. We're going to go to a bank, and we're going to exchange our cash for pesos, and we're going to see what they say the exchange rate is. That's going to be like the determiner for us.
And honestly, that is probably, my first bit of advice is to be prepared. If you plan on renting a car, know that there is going to be an extra insurance charge per day to rent that car. So it's probably going to be double the amount that you're budgeting for. So just know that. Number two, not only have cash, but make sure that you convert that money into pesos. If you can do it through your bank, great. But we were reading a review about some other currency exchange thing that we're gonna go to tomorrow to get pesos. Let you know how that turns out, what that rate's gonna be. But because then there's no confusion. At least if you have the same currency and the check says one thing, you can pay it and just be done with it, and then convert it back when you're done. Because all of this is just like, it's frustrating, it's annoying, and it's just kind of like, I don't know what it is. It's something like, it's almost like a fight or flight response being somewhere else, because we're confused. It's almost like we're afraid to be taken advantage of at the same time.
For sure.
So when people are telling us something else, but Google's telling us another thing, we're just like, wait.
Because the same thing happened to us last year. We went to Cancun, and when you take cabs in Mexico, they don't have like a meter, so they literally just like tell you how much to pay. So we had gotten back to our hotel, and the cab driver was like, "Oh yeah, so it's so and so amount of pesos, which comes to like this amount of dollars." And it was, I think that he was telling us it was like $25. And then I bring out my phone and do the exchange rate, and I saw that it was $15. And then he was just kind of like, "Oh."
He just like didn't say anything.
Yeah,
He was kind of embarrassed.
Yeah, so I think that generally out here, if you're not coming with pesos, I think that they're gonna try to like take advantage of you a little bit and get a little more cash out of you because they know we don't know.
Yeah, and I don't even want to say that to generalize because we can't generalize. We can't say that about everywhere, but so far there have been a couple of places, and it's more so this blindsiding effect. With the cab though, that was kind of shisty because he told us one thing and it was like $10 more than it should have been.
Yeah.
Also, like he said, they don't have meters, and there's also not Uber. At least the nights that we were there and we were trying to Uber around, there was no Uber at all. You just had to take a cab with no meter in it. Maybe some areas there are Uber, but cabs generally, at least in Playa del Carmen, there was no Uber and there were no meters. So just kind of be aware of what that's going to be. Again, maybe pesos is going to be better for that as well.
But
it's just kind of a shame. And it's like one of those things, you know, you're in another country, you make your plans, and that is what it is. It's just like, I wish I would have seen that in any of these vacation vlog videos where people are like, yeah, I'm in Tulum and look at me and I'm taking pictures in this corner by this palm tree. Like, take all the pictures by all the palm trees you want, but give us the information we need, like how the exchange rates are different and how we should get pesos. Those are the annoying things. So far though, the upsides are that the weather has been really nice. We do like the hotel room that we're in. Again, I will show you the room tomorrow and kind of the property and stuff. Also where we are, it is like a nice little bubble where there's a lot of restaurants here and some shopping and things that are pretty close by to attractions that we want to see. The food that we had was pretty good at dinner.
It was good.
The area seems pretty cool. We got in a little on the later side, but I'm excited for tomorrow. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Couple hours away.
Although I don't know if I'll be posting this before or after, probably after. But yeah, so birthday party. We're just gonna kind of settle in now, watch some TV if we can find something to watch, and I don't know, rest up for tomorrow. What are we gonna do tomorrow?
Go to the beach, go to the cenotes. Is that how you say it? Cenotes?
I'm not sure.
We don't know what to say. Cenotes. We're going though.
I am looking forward to the trip improving, and I will let you guys know of anything else that's, I don't know, helpful, more helpful information, and also have some fun bits in there as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful for you, and if it has been, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!